Introduction to Father of the Goddess. The combination of reality and games brings mythology from nightmares. Monsters roar, and the human race is in danger. Fortunately, our human ancestors discovered career paths, crazily upgraded, and constantly changed jobs to become stronger, establishing a foothold in this post-apocalyptic world. Ming was forced to choose an auxiliary profession that was not good at combat. Paladin, also known as Papa, but unexpectedly awakened the SSS talent, judgment, and all light and divine skills increased several times. So, Ming became the judge of the wet dad. Years later, gods descended and countless demon gods intended to destroy the human race, but standing in front of them was the auxiliary profession Ming. The demon roared angrily, "Even if it's just an auxiliary profession, dare you block our demon gods?" Ming. Blessings of weapons, divine blessings, hymns of courage, revenge of light, hymns of protection. After countless buffs were stacked, Ming, wearing a mythological holy light battle robe and carrying an eternal holy light cross, silently waved his flat A with the protection of the 18-winged flame angel king's void shadow above his head. The void collapses, and the gods and demons disappear. Do you call this an auxiliary profession that is not good at combat? Chapter 1. Ming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. September, 103rd year of the new century. Daxia, lynching number 1 middle school, class 9, grade 3. The voices in the classroom were boiling, and the young girls were discussing today's job transfer ceremony enthusiastically. Finally we're almost here. I heard that someone in class 8 has transferred to become a swordsman, which is a hidden profession. Envy, the 3 professions I fit into are all auxiliary professions, it's simply outrageous. You're okay, you're a girl, so it's okay to be safe and stable. It's hard to say that your awakened innate talent level is relatively high. That's just an aid. Sigh, it's all fate. Don't complain too much. 20 years ago, we probably didn't even have the opportunity to become professionals. Where's Fong Qingxue? Why didn't the class flower come today? Fong Qingxue's parents are both third-generation professionals, belonging to the second generation. They have already met the conditions for job transfer, and are probably currently taking classes in rocket class. In this world, 100 years ago, games arrived in reality, with numerous secret realms and fierce beasts causing chaos. The path of professionals was discovered by humans. Once humans meet the conditions for job transfer, they can proceed with the job transfer and gain more powerful abilities. The first job transfer requires reaching level 10. In the past, only a few children from ordinary families could meet the conditions. Fortunately, the official government of Daxia officially launched the National Professional Program 20 years ago, providing students with the necessary resources for free from the first level to the 10th level of probationary professionals. Generally, at the beginning of the 3rd year of high school, about 90% of students will reach the 10th level of probationary professionals, meet the conditions for job transfer, and then undergo job transfer and class division. It is worth mentioning that the first job transfer can awaken a lifelong innate talent, and its level and characteristics are extremely important for a professional. Ming, our class's job transfer ceremony is coming soon. What initial profession did you choose? The little chubby man looked curiously at Ming. Paladin, it was said a long time ago. Ming shrugged his shoulders. No, you really want to be a paladin. This is an auxiliary profession, the chubby little man widened his eyes. Ming waved his hand and said, it's impossible. The ones I'm compatible with are all auxiliary professions, so I can only choose a general from among the losers. Ah, you're too unlucky on the old road. The little chubby man comforted. Ming said nothing, pretending to be relaxed, but a hint of sadness flashed deep in his eyes. Up to now, professionals have developed an extremely complex professional system, with dozens of career paths, each with 9 job transfers, totaling about a few hundred professions. Although there are many professions, there are only two simple ones: auxiliary professions and output professions. In Daxia Kingdom, the official has always emphasized that professionals do not distinguish between high and low status, but Lu Ming knows that auxiliary professions and output professions are different. If you change jobs and become an output profession, you will have the ability to earn money by clearing secret realms, be free and unrestricted by anyone. And auxiliary professions are much worse. Auxiliary professions generally do not have strong output, and if you want to make money by clearing secret realms, you must team up with others. Even in the early New Era, there were families who specifically targeted auxiliary professionals and threatened them with free work for themselves. Although the latter situation has disappeared since the establishment of auxiliary professional guilds, this is enough to illustrate the problem. Auxiliary profession: if you want to make money and obtain resources, you must seek people to form teams and be controlled by others. It is precisely because of this environment over the past century that no one is willing to choose auxiliary professions, resulting in the development level of auxiliary professions being far inferior to other professions, forming a vicious cycle. Until today, the senior management of Xia country has recognized the necessity of auxiliary professions and vigorously supported them. However, due to insufficient development of auxiliary professions, efforts to improve the overall environment cannot be achieved in a short period of time. Unless you are an unlucky person who only fits an auxiliary profession, there is really no candidate for an auxiliary profession. Lu Ming is not an unlucky person. 3 days ago, during the compatibility test, there were two professions that Lu Ming was compatible with. One was the output profession mechanic, and the other was the auxiliary profession paladin. Mechanists are widely recognized as the most money-burning profession. Lu Ming comes from an ordinary background, and his parents are both non-professionals living in outer cities. His younger sister has a congenital strange disease and has been bedridden. He can only give up being a mechanic and choose the paladin. Perhaps it is due to the last dignity of a young man, Lu Ming said to the public that he is suitable for auxiliary professions. Cough cough. A light cough rang out, and the lively discussions among the young girls instantly subsided. On the podium, there was already a female teacher wearing formal attire with black silk-wrapped legs. On her shoulder was a fiery red dragon-shaped elf, very cute. This is Lu Ming's homeroom teacher, Qin Fei. Lu Ming remembers when Qin Fei introduced herself in her first year of high school, saying that she was a second-level professional and a 132-level exorcist. It is unclear how many levels she has now. Our class is coming soon, everyone get ready. Qin Fei said, after becoming a professional, there will be a heavenly Dao panel visible to the professional themselves, which has many functions. After the class is divided, the teacher will explain it. At the transfer ceremony, don't make a noise because of it, and be sure to maintain good discipline. Remember all of them. Qin Fei said seriously. Remember. The students answered in unison. Okay, queue up in the hallway, line up to teach class 2. The class monitor should maintain order. Qin Fei instructed. The students immediately started moving, and the tables and chairs made a noisy noise. They gathered from the corridor in less than 3 minutes. Job transfer is imminent, everyone is excited and unbearable. Even Lu Ming is no exception. Transferring to become a paladin, although you may not be able to earn a lot of money quickly, you may not be able to learn healing skills that can directly cure your sister. It would be even better if my natural talent was better. I heard that there is less prejudice against auxiliary professions in big cities. It would be great if I could go to a professional college in big cities in the future. Lu Ming stood in the queue, following Xiao Pang step by step, his thoughts racing in his heart. He has decided to transfer to become a paladin at the book garden www.zhaoxuan.com. The future depends entirely on one's innate talent. As he walked and thought, Lu Ming didn't even know when he arrived at Jiao Air. The second teaching building is specifically designed for high school seniors, and the classrooms inside are not traditional classrooms, but martial arts rooms with 7 or 8 classroom sizes, with only 5 classrooms on each floor. The venue for the job transfer ceremony is a martial arts room located on the 5th floor. Principal, Class 9 of Grade 3 is coming to report and prepare for the transfer ceremony. Qin Fei first walked into the martial arts room, reported to the principal inside, and then came out to take the students in. Is this the classroom where the martial arts room was renovated? Wow, these martial arts equipment look so high-end. Is it technology from before the new era? We have to teach in this kind of classroom in the future. The students were greatly surprised. Lu Ming also widened his eyes. The whole classroom was about the size of a football field. In front of it was a huge platform half a person tall, similar to the challenge arena in the martial arts field. Qin Fei and the headmaster were standing on the platform to talk. The platform was divided into 2 parts, one part was a colloid space, the other part was full of equipment needed to exercise, full of a sense of technology. On the side of the classroom were pieces of French window, which could see the tops of trees outside the window. Be quiet. Qin Fei frowned and said. Hee. The principal didn't care and said with a smile, children, this is the classroom where you will be attending classes in the future. These martial arts equipment are not the technology before the new era, but the new technology driven by energy. As for source energy, it is the source of vitality for professionals, and your teacher will explain it to you in the future. The principal kindly explained a few words, then said with a slightly positive tone, the transfer ceremony has officially begun. Chapter 2. Transfer, Paladin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The job transfer ceremony officially begins. The boys and girls all held their breath. The principal took out the roster belonging to Class 9 and began to call names according to the list. Zhang Xiaowu. The first person called up was the chubby little guy next to Lu Ming. Principal, the professions that I am suitable for include ice maker, necromancer, and pastor. I choose ice maker. Zhang Xiaowu jumped onto the podium with a nervous expression on his face. The principal looked at the information on the roster and nodded slightly, saying, Ice Master is a branch of mages. He is skilled in one skill and may have stronger strength. It's a good choice. Stand in the formation and start the job transfer. After speaking, a 6-pointed formation appeared in front of the little chubby man, with crystals of various colors on the 6 corners of the 6-pointed star. All the young girls and boys in the audience were staring at the chubby little Zhang Xiaowu. The heavenly way is above me, and I will conduct a job transfer ceremony. I will invite Zhang Xiaowu, who meets the job transfer requirements, to become a profession. Ice Formation Master. The principal recited the mysterious spell of a person, as if seeking guidance from a deity. Immediately after the spell stopped, the temperature around Zhang Xiaowu slowly decreased, and then a stunning yellow light appeared inside Xiaopeng's body. The illusion lasted for more than 10 seconds before returning to normal. The principal smiled slightly and patted the chubby boy's shoulder, saying, Yellow D.level talent, not bad. As for what Zhang Xiaowu's innate talent is, the principal did not ask. This is the privacy of the profession, and he only needs to record the level of his innate talent. At this point, the transfer ceremony of Zhang Xiaowu has come to an end. Next, Qindong. The principal started naming the next student, and Zhang Xiaowu quickly jumped off the podium and returned to the team of Class 9, but his eyes were very confused, staring straight ahead. Lu Ming remembers that this is the look in little Fatty's eyes every time he sees a beautiful senior sister, but now there is no beautiful senior sister in front of him. Hey, Xiaowu. D.level talent, congratulations. The future is limitless. The sound of Lu Ming rang out, and the little chubby man finally regained his senses. He scratched his head and said, I just looked at the panel. Harmful, it's just D.level. Old Lu, you must be good at it, maybe even higher. Little Fatty is deliberately humble, afraid of hitting Lu Ming, after all, Lu Ming is compatible with auxiliary professions, which is already unlucky enough. The 7 colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple correspond to the 7 levels from F to S. D. Level is already very good and can provide great assistance to professionals. Moreover, among the 7 levels, the Xiaogua has the most D. Level innate talent for professionals. Lu Ming still feels a bit envious. If he has a D. Level talent, the probability of curing his younger sister will be much higher. Even if he cannot cure his younger sister, it can reduce the pressure on his parents. I'm afraid he'll awaken his incredibly powerful F. Level or E. Level innate talent. The transfer ceremony is proceeding as usual. Next, slaughter beans. Orange E. Level talent, not bad. Next, Tang umbrella. Next. After about half an hour, it was finally the turn of the road to ring. Old road, you're at least D. Level. The chubby guy cheered on Lu Ming. Hope. Lu Ming took a deep breath, jumped onto the platform, and prayed silently in his heart. The talent of his life must be strengthened. Must be at level D. Principal, I have chosen to transfer to a profession. Paladin. Lu Ming said. Paladin. It's a rare auxiliary profession. The principal glanced at the roster in his hand again, which contained all the career information suitable for the students, including Lu Ming's naturally. When the principal saw that the professions of mechanic and paladin matched, he understood what was going on. Children from ordinary families cannot choose the profession of mechanic. Let's get started. The principal began reciting spells, while Lu Ming took a step forward and stepped into the 6-star formation, marking the official start of his transfer ceremony. The crystals around the formation quickly dissipated, and Lu Ming felt a warm sensation all over his body. He felt so comfortable that he wanted to moan. When all the crystals around the array were consumed, a purple light burst out from Lu Ming's body, shining brilliantly with a noble aura, lasting for more than 10 seconds. Waiting until the light disappeared, Lu Ming noticed a light blue text panel in his field of vision, which read personal information, world channels, friend channels, world missions, hyperspace exchanges, and so on. However, except for personal information, all other options were temporarily gray. Lu Ming's thoughts focused on personal information, and the panel immediately changed, with lines of text appearing like waves of water. Congratulations on your successful job transfer, the Heavenly Way panel has been opened. Name: Lu Ming, ID, 198-711-2200, Occupation: Paladin, Professional Level. LV1, 4-dimensional attributes. Strength 5, Intelligence 5, Physical Strength 5, Agility 5, Destiny Talent. Judgment, SSS Level. Your understanding speed of light and divine skills increases, and the light and divine skills you use will receive a huge growth increase based on your level. Skill. LV1 Light Focus, View Detailed Information, Power. 0 stars, Lu Ming's heart was pounding, and he never expected to obtain an SSS level talent that was not even recorded in the official information of the Xia. His original goal was just a D. level talent. It seems that it won't be long before my younger sister can be cured and my parents can live a good life. Congratulations, Lu Ming. You have actually obtained a purple S. level innate talent, and there is great potential in the future. The principal's voice rang out, making Lu Ming come to his senses for a moment. Purple S. level talent. It seems that the colorful radiance at the first job transfer ceremony is not accurate, or is it that all S. level and above talents are purple? Thank you, Principal. Lu Ming thanked and quickly jumped off the podium. He did not correct the principal's words. After all, there is no information above the S. level in the official textbooks of Daxia country. It is too shocking and secular to look for books on www.zhaozuiyuan.com. The principal's eyes were hot, suppressing his inner excitement and continuing to preside over the awakening ceremony. And Qin Fei beside her, with her cherry lips slightly open, excitedly gave her a thumbs up and praised, "Lu Ming, it's good. Keep going." As Lu Ming's homeroom teacher, Qin Fei naturally knew about the situation at Lu Ming's home. During her 2 years as Lu Ming's homeroom teacher, Qin Fei also privately assisted Lu Ming. Now that Lu Ming has awakened to Xia's rare S.level talent, Qin Fei is naturally delighted for it. This child's life finally has hope. Aha! Lu Mingjian nodded fixedly, filled with hope for the future in his heart. Digging trenches, old road, you can do it. Little chubby Zhang Xiaowu came over and hunched his shoulders, with a look of envy on his face. He said, "Old road, this wave is taking off. S.level talent. I'm sure I can become a powerful player in the future." The other classmates also looked over, all with envy in their eyes. "Don't expect so much for now." Lu Ming shook his head and hurriedly left the martial arts room under the pretext of using the restroom. As an ordinary student who has never been outstanding or at the bottom from childhood to adulthood, always paddling in the middle and unknown, Lu Ming really feels a bit uncomfortable when he suddenly becomes so popular. After washing his face in the toilet, Lu Ming became much clearer. With a movement of mind, the Heavenly Way panel reappeared in Lu Ming's field of vision. As the mind moved again, the Heavenly Way panel quickly disappeared, and everything responded to Lu Ming's thoughts. It was truly magical. Just by summoning the hidden panel, Lu Ming had a lot of fun playing. No wonder Xiaowu just changed jobs, just like seeing a beautiful senior sister Lu Ming roast. Chapter 3. Rocket Squad. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The job transfer ceremony came to an end quickly, and except for Lu Ming, most young girls and boys have D.level or F.level talents. Not bad, let's go, classmates. Back to class. Qin Fei smiled and said. Class 9 students lined up and walked in the corridor on the 2nd and 5th floors of the classroom. Old road, look, rocket class has already started classes. Suddenly, Zhang Xiaowu patted Lu Ming's shoulder and angrily gestured for Lu Ming to look towards a martial arts room in the distance. The door sign of that martial arts room bears the 4 big characters of Class 1, Grade 3. The door is open, and you can see the students performing various martial arts movements inside. The sound of breaking through the air keeps ringing, making it lively. And there are 4 more classes like this. In the 3rd year of high school, classes 1 to 4 are all rocket classes. The students in the rocket class are the 2nd generation of vocational school students whose parents are both senior professionals. They are not lacking in resources, using various medicines from childhood to adulthood with ease, and even do not need the support of resources from the Xia country. Even worse, they have become professionals since their 1st year of high school and go to martial arts schools or secret realms every day for further training. Ordinary students like Lu Ming only became professionals in their 3rd year of high school, 2 years later than top students, and the level difference is outrageous. A school with 4 classes and over 200 students, there are 9 schools like 1 middle school, in Lincheng, and there must be more than 2,000 such top students. How many are there in Lincheng in a province? The enrollment quota for S.level vocational colleges in our province generally does not exceed 50. This is also too difficult. Lu Ming was deeply moved. Cut, it's just having a good dad. What's so great about it? I can do it myself. Zhang Xiaowu cheered on Lu Ming and said, Old Lu, you have an S.level talent and have been practicing hard for a year. You can definitely catch up with them, and even surpass them. I believe in your old Lu. Lu Ming remained silent and took a deep look at the bustling rocket squad. He followed the team down the stairs and left Teacher Air. After returning to her original class, Qin Fei walked up to the podium and said, Congratulations, classmates. You have taken an extremely important step in life. From now on, you will be brave and fearless professionals. Here, I sincerely wish everyone success in the future. Next is a half-day holiday. Tomorrow morning, the Unified Academic Affairs Office will report, search for class information, collect textbooks, and implement closed management to officially start the high school seniors courses. Alright, let's start self-study now. School ends at 11:50. High school seniors are being transferred to different classes, and teacher Chin Fei's workload is also quite heavy. Moreover, among the students she leads, there is also Lu Ming who has an S-level innate talent. We need to hurry up and get busy. Chin Fei quickly turned her head and left the classroom, rarely emphasizing disciplinary issues. After all, emphasizing is useless. The enthusiasm of young professionals who have just become professionals cannot be suppressed. Nowadays, every class is bustling with excitement, and basically all are studying novel celestial panels. Lu Ming is no exception. He sat in his seat, looking at the panel attributes in his field of vision, and focused on the skill bar. When choosing a career path and transitioning for the first time, the professional will not only gain their own natural talent, but also acquire basic skills unique to that profession. Basic skills are particularly special and extremely important. Although they lack lethality, they are the foundation of a profession, almost equivalent to a second innate talent. Moreover, there is only one way for professionals to acquire skills in the early stages, which is to learn through obtaining skill books, and the minimum level requirement among all skill books is level 5. That is to say, before level 5, professionals can only use basic skills. The basic skill of a paladin, light focus. Lu Ming looked at his Heavenly Way panel, his mind focused on skill options, and information about the focus of the light appeared in his field of vision. Skill. Focus of light, level. LV1, attribute. Light system, introduction. Consuming the source energy to receive the blessing of the God of light, making your mind clear and your focus greatly improved, lasting for 30 minutes, note. LV5 can be used on other targets, note. This skill receives a judgment bonus. After reading the skill introduction, Lu Ming couldn't wait to give it a try. The skills used by Lu Ming were already mastered proficiently during the preparatory professional stage of the first and second year of high school. Now, there is no unfamiliarity in using them, let alone this is a skill that comes with the profession, just like instinct. Without any chanting or movement, Lu Ming's mind only moved, and a golden holy light flashed away from his eyes, and his skills took effect accordingly. Subsequently, Lu Ming felt that the world around him had changed. He seems to be able to be as serious as he wants, not disturbed by any external objects, and fully focused anytime, anywhere. Lu Ming casually took out a textbook called Secret Realm Rules, and frowned as he began reading. Everything outside seems to have nothing to do with the road noise, and the noise in the classroom cannot affect the road noise at all. Full focus. 100% investment. Lu Ming, Lu Ming. 30 minutes later, the voice of the chubby little man appeared vaguely in Lu Ming's ear. Ah! Lu Ming suddenly regained his senses and found that half an hour had passed, and it was already 11:55 minutes. The classroom is already empty, with only the chubby little boy and a few classmates who have a good relationship with him remaining in the classroom, all looking at him with great concern. He clearly felt like it had just passed a little while. Why did he go straight for half an hour? Did you just become so focused? What's wrong with your old ways? I just talked to you and found Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. You look like you're growing up in a book, with no answer at all. I thought you were deaf. If it weren't for your eyeballs still spinning, I would have gone to find Teacher Chin. The chubby boy breathed a sigh of relief. It's okay, it's okay. I just tried my basic skills. Lu Ming explained for a moment, tried to recall the content of the book, and was surprised to find that he had memorized all the content of the book, word for word. That's over 200 pages of Secret Realm Rules. Lu Ming wanted to use vulgar language, but due to Xiao Pang and a few classmates still here, he could only deeply press the shock into his heart. Xiaopeng felt relieved as he saw that Lu Ming was not feeling unwell. He smiled and said, "As long as you're okay, let's add you as a friend and I'll invite you to join the class group. Although we'll be dividing classes soon, it's still necessary to leave a group for our your friendship as classmates." Line. Lu Ming said, "But I don't quite understand how to do it. I didn't study it just now." "I truly admire you, old road." Xiaopeng smiled and said, "Everyone is studying the panel of the heavenly way. You're the only one in the class reading books, so you can sit still. Just now, the class monitor's hanging hair scolded you for pretending, but in fact, you're almost jealous of me. It's like laughing at me, fat master." A few other classmates laughed in agreement, and there was a mischievous boy who pretended to be the class monitor just now, making everyone burst into laughter. "Go ahead and curse, but you won't lose a piece of meat." Lu Ming casually waved his hand, then added a few friends under Xiaopeng's guidance, and joined the class group. After finishing everything, Lu Ming bid farewell to Xiaopeng and the others and went home alone. Chapter 4. Focus. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Lu Ming's home is in the outer city, or in other words, all ordinary people's homes are in the outer city. In this era, city construction is generally divided into two cities: the inner and outer. Ordinary people live in the outer city, while professionals live in the inner city. There is a towering city wall between the inner and outer cities, as if dividing the world in half. Standing anywhere, you can see the magnificent city wall that cannot be concealed. Lu Ming waited at the bus stop for a few minutes, got on the number 28 bus, invested a large sum of summer coins, and chose a window seat. I heard that some big cities don't have buses, and the means of transportation on the roads are summoning items for summoning professions. There are also puppets made by puppeteers, mechanical cars made by mechanics, floating cars. Lu Ming reminisced about the big cities he had seen on TV and felt a bit longing for them. In fact, most of those big cities are pilot cities for the National Professional Plan. Up to now, there are almost no non-professionals in the cities, so they naturally do not need to retain ordinary positions like bus drivers, and buses naturally exit the stage. As a latecomer city, there are too many ordinary people in Lincheng. Ordinary people are tears of the times. These ordinary people did not catch the good time and could not earn money to become professionals, but their children have hope to become professionals. They have to bear enormous pressure and pain as ordinary people to support their children to become professionals. Lu Ming's parents are one of these ordinary people. It is precisely for the existence of these ordinary people that ordinary positions such as bus drivers in Lincheng have not been completely banned. Opening the car window, the warm September wind blows in my face, and the towering trees on both sides of the city streets quickly pass by, giving the sound of the road a dreamy feeling. He opened the Heavenly Dao panel several times and found that his SSS level innate talent had not disappeared. I'm not dreaming. Lu Ming completely let go of his mind and touched his friend channel, diving to watch the class group, and then chatting with little Fatty haphazardly. Half an hour passed quickly and Jiaheng Community Station arrived. It is said that this is an old-fashioned community built before the new century, specifically for the workers of Jiaheng Cotton Factory to live in, with over 100 buildings. After the new century, Jiaheng Cotton Factory closed down. In order to support the livelihoods of a large number of residents, the Lincheng government repaired residential buildings and specially built a factory for processing cat demon claws. Almost all residents of Jiaheng community work in the factory. The community is very clean, but at first glance it looks full of a sense of time. When Lu Ming arrived home, it was already 1 o'clock in the afternoon. His parents were not at home and had already gone to work. There was only a petite and delicate girl sitting on the sofa, vigilantly looking at the door, holding a fruit knife in her hand. If she could move her legs, perhaps she would cat behind the door, waiting for an opportunity to stab the intruder. "Oh, it's my brother. I thought it was a thief, it scared me to death." Lu Xian placed the fruit knife on the table and reached out to pat her chest. Lu Ming rubbed Lu Xian's head and said with a smile, "Didn't I tell you that I'm on vacation this afternoon? What are you afraid of? Your brother is a thief. The news just now said that a thief stole a lot of valuable items and fled to the outer city." Lu Xian explained, "Otherwise I wouldn't be afraid." "Well, then you still need to be careful when you're at home. In the future, ask your parents to lock the anti-theft door when they go out. It's a bit troublesome to open and close, but it's always safe." Lu Ming said repeatedly, "And what are you doing with this fruit knife? What should you do if you hurt yourself? My parents don't care about you. Besides, just watch TV in the afternoon. It's good not to go to school, but to read a book. Brother, you're even more nagging than our mom. I don't want to read books. You child, adults say you don't like to hear a few words, do you? Brother, I'll call you mother later. My mother just scolded me like that, exactly the same. Still talking back. Begging to be beaten. Ah." Lu Ming tickled Lu Xian's itch, and laughter spread. This is the way they get along with their siblings. In this small family, no one treats Lu Xian as a disabled special group, even a fruit knife can be safely placed where Lu Xian can reach. Therefore, although Lu Xian suffers from a strange illness and is physically disabled, her personality remains cheerful. Occasionally, she may feel lonely, but she never shows it. Alright, let's get down to business. After a while of commotion, Lu Ming turned slightly positive and said, Xian, today I changed my profession to a professional. My profession is a paladin. Maybe I can cure you in the future. About 2 years ago, in the first year of junior high school, Lu Xian, who was 2 years younger than Lu Ming, suddenly fell ill with a strange illness. From numbness in her legs and feet to weakness in her legs and complete loss of sensation in her legs, it only took a short month. The hospitals in Lincheng and surrounding cities have found no problems and can only hire high-level auxiliary professionals from the hospital to treat Lu Xian once a month to temporarily maintain her condition. Lu Xian didn't expect anything from herself. Therefore, upon hearing Lu Ming's words, Lu Xian was stunned. When you're good, you still have to go to school. You need to read more books at home to avoid falling behind when you go to school, Lu Ming continued. Zhaozuiyuan.com Lu Xian is now 15 years old. If she can recover within a year, she can directly enter the first year of high school and go to school with her peers, without having too much generation gap. I want to read a book, brother. I'll read it carefully. Lu Xian felt a little flustered, her small hands fumbling around and pulling out a wrinkled textbook from under the sofa backrest, reciting the content, but her eyes gradually blurred with tears. Looking at his sister's appearance, Lu Ming felt a little heartbroken. To be honest, he doesn't know if he can cure his younger sister 100%, because he has just entered his 3rd year of high school and hasn't officially started learning professional knowledge, but this doesn't stop Lu Ming from working hard for it. Moreover, Lu Ming has tried, and with the blessing of SSS-level talents, the focus of light has become exceptionally fierce. When he learns the healing skill, there is great hope for healing his sister. Alright, brother, hurry up and go. I need to study hard now, it makes me feel uncomfortable at all. Lu Xian blushed her eyes and pretended nothing had happened to drive away Lu Ming. Okay. Lu Ming chuckled and said, call me if you have something to do. After returning to his room, Lu Ming couldn't wait to take out a few textbooks. After experiencing a concentration of light, Lu Ming felt like he was addicted. Not to mention anything else, just relying on this skill, I can quickly pass the college entrance examination with full marks in humanities. In the future, I don't even need to squeeze out exercise time to study humanities. All my time is spent on cultivation, maybe I can catch up with the rocket class. That way, A-level professionals have hope in college. With the display of his powerful talents, Lu Ming's ambition was expanding, and suddenly he had some aspirations that he had never imagined before. After looking at Lu Xian in the living room and confirming that she had nothing to do, Lu Ming took out a humanities textbook and activated his skill light to focus and recite it seriously. Chapter 5. Surprise. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In the Great Xia Kingdom, there are two subjects in the college entrance examination: civil and military. Among them, the score in civil arts accounts for 30%, which are all things that are memorized by rote, such as the Secret Realm Law and Monster Illustrated Mirror. In theory, humanities should be given full marks by everyone. However, in reality, dry and uninteresting humanities are far less attractive than martial arts, and there are many students who lose blood points in humanities every year. Lu Ming doesn't want to lose points. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye, and Lu Ming used the focus of light 4 times to memorize all 4 textbooks until he felt a pain in his mind before stopping. Is this a feeling of excessive brain use? Lu Ming was kneading his temples, and intense pain was coming from inside. It seemed that his limit was to continue studying for 2 hours in a focused state. Moreover, by using the light focus 4 times in a row, the increase in magic points cannot keep up with the consumption, and it will take some rest time to recover. Although approaching the limit and feeling unwell, Lu Ming was excited in his heart. At this moment, he closed his eyes and could clearly remember any sentence on any page. Give him a day, get a perfect score for liberal arts. Lu Ming suppressed his discomfort and looked at the living room, only to find that his sister Lu Xian was already asleep. He tiptoed over to cover Lu Xian with a blanket, and then returned to the bedroom to lie down and rest. If he doesn't rest any longer, he feels like his head is about to explode. It was already 7 o'clock in the afternoon when Lu Ming woke up. It was already dark, and he was lying in bed. He could vaguely hear the voices of his parents and Lu Xian talking, which was particularly clear. At this point, the symptoms of the headache have completely disappeared, and there is no discomfort. On the contrary, it is particularly energetic. Tian Dao Panel. Lu Ming opened the Heavenly Dao panel and was surprised to find that his 4-dimensional attributes had changed. The intelligence attribute has increased from 5 points to 6 points. Endorsement can actually enhance intelligence. Or, to put it another way, excessive use of the brain can lead to a natural increase in intelligence after rest and recovery. In addition, there is an additional proficiency column after the skill level of light focus. Skill. Focus of light, skill level. LV1, proficiency level. 24/100, proficiency. Does it refer to the level of proficiency in skills at that level, or is it complete data? After mastering proficiently, the skill level will increase, resulting in stronger effects. Lu Ming speculated based on the literal meaning. At this moment, Lu Mu's voice rang out from outside. Lu Ming. Lu Ming. Don't sleep, get up and eat. Here we go. Lu Ming kept his doubts in his heart and hurriedly woke up. Anyway, the teacher will talk about these things about the Heavenly Way panel tomorrow when the school starts. Don't be in a hurry, and if you go to eat too late, your mother will get angry. Lu Ming's parents are workers at the Cat Demon Finger Claw Processing Factory. Their job is to polish the claws sent by the machine and then place them on a conveyor belt to transport them away. It may seem easy, but if they have actually worked, they will know how tired it is. Not to mention anything else, just standing in front of the machine for a whole day is already uncomfortable enough, let alone constantly bending down to polish the cat demon's fingers and claws. And the most crucial thing is to mechanically repeat a movement throughout the day without any rest, which is too tiring. It is precisely because of this tiring job that Lu Ming's parents in their 40s look like they are in their 50s or 60s. The salary is decent, with both Lu Fu and Lu Mu earning a combined monthly income of 15,000 Chinese yuan. However, her younger sister Lu Xian has to spend a fixed amount of 8,000 Chinese yuan per month, rent is fixed at 600 Chinese yuan, and with living expenses, she can hardly save any money. When Lu Ming got dressed and walked out of the bedroom, everyone had been waiting at the dining table for a while. Lu Mu glanced at Lu Ming and in an instant found his 10 mistakes. She said, "I won't be with my sister when I come back this afternoon, so I'll just sleep. I don't even know how to wash my hair. The sofa is so messy." The sofa is clearly made by Lu Xian. Whether or not she has done it well, Lu Ming harbored resentment in his heart, but with a playful smile on his face, he said, "When it comes to eating, Mom's food is delicious, much better than school food. Smelling the aroma makes me wake up. You have a smooth tongue." Lu Mu couldn't help but laugh and stood up to give Lu Mingxing a bowl of rice. Lu Xian has already informed her parents about the successful transfer of Lu Ming to a professional position. Tonight's food is exceptionally abundant, which is also why Lu Ming will be going to live on campus tomorrow. At the dinner table, when it comes to boarding school, Lu Mu still feels a bit reluctant. Lu Fu was quite open-minded and encouraged Lu Ming a few words. Regarding the issue of SSS-level talent, Lu Ming did not tell his parents. They are both ordinary people, not professionals, and this kind of thing cannot be explained to them. Moreover, Lu Ming wants to use his achievements to tell his parents that their son has great potential. After a meal, Lu Ming followed his parents and pushed Lu Xian, who was sitting in a wheelchair, for a walk from the community. This is the most relaxed time of the day for both parents, without the fatigue of work, to leisurely push Lu Xian to relax. Lu Ming followed behind, looking at his mother pushing Lu Xian and his father who was one head shorter than him. He swore to strive for a better result and make it easier for his parents. Lu Fu and Lu Mu have to wake up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to go to work, and rest on time around 9 o'clock every night to maintain their energy the next day. There was once a worker who, due to being too tired, got his head stuck in the paws of a cat demon and died on the spot. So the walking time wasn't too long, and they strolled until almost 9 p.m., and then a few people went home. Returning to his bedroom, Lu Ming used his focus of light several times and memorized all the textbooks for his first and second year of high school. When the feeling of dizziness hit him again, Lu Ming simply fell asleep. The next day, Linqing No. 1 Middle School. Lu Ming was refreshing and met Xiao Pang Zhang Xiaowu from the school gate. They entered the campus together and walked towards the academic affairs office. After waking up this morning, Lu Ming's intelligence has risen to 7 points, and his proficiency in skill light focus has reached 72 points. It won't be long before he can be promoted to LV2. Old Road, have you heard that in the third year of high school, there is a weekly test and a monthly test, which is very strict? Zhang Xiaowu complained. Lu Ming was prepared for his third year of high school and had a heart for improvement. Instead, he thought it was better to be strict. However, he didn't say this, and for some reason, he thought it was too difficult to talk to Xiao Pang about the importance of progress. He decided not to talk and instead joined in with a few complaints. When light is focused on LV5, try helping Xiao Pang. The two of them came to the academic affairs office, chatting and laughing. On a huge bulletin board, there is information about the division of classes for all third-grade students, who need to find their own names. At this point, many people were already surrounding the bulletin board. Lu Ming and Zhang Xiaowu squeezed into the crowd, searching for their names one by one. There are 28 classes in the entire third grade of high school, each with more than 50 people, making it difficult to find, so this job mainly relies on friend notifications. Just like Xiao Pang and Lu Ming, when they first arrived here, a few familiar classmates noticed them and happily said, "Xiaowu, I saw you. You're still in class 9, and I'm the same." Great. Zhang Xiaowu clapped his hands and asked, "Where is the old road? Is the old road in class 9? I don't know, I didn't see the name of the old road. I'll take my time searching." Lu Ming stared at the bulletin board, starting from class 5, each class was searching for their own names, while Xiao Pang helped Lu Ming find them from behind. Strangely, both of them searched everywhere but couldn't find which class Lu Ming was in. Absurd. Did you get fired from the old road? Zhang Xiaowu widened his eyes. It shouldn't be. Lu Ming is also a bit confused. Wait, will you be in the rocket class? It's possible, after all, you're a genius with S.level talent, old road. Zhang Xiaowu widened his eyes and turned his gaze to the top 4 classes of high school that they had never seen before, which is the legendary rocket class. Lu Ming's gaze also followed suit. In no time, Lu Ming found his name. He was the leader of the rocket class in grade 1 of high school. Sleeping slot. Zhang Xiaowu excitedly hugged Lu Ming's shoulder and said, "Old Lu, you're already developed. The rockets class is all focused on cultivating seed players, and at the worst, they can all be admitted to B.level professional universities. It's possible to work hard to get into A.level or S.level universities. Come on, come on." Lu Ming shook his head and approached Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, saying, "I feel a lot of pressure. I guess I'll always be at the bottom of the list. It's uncertain whether I can keep up with the course or not. Harm, old road, be more confident." Zhang Xiaowu said. At this moment, a cry of surprise came from the crowd, and a student exclaimed in surprise, "Shijin, I found you. You were actually placed in the rocket class. You're lying down. You're in the rocket class." In the crowd, a tall and thin boy named Shijin quickly ran to the bulletin board and found his name in class 2 of grade 3. Great! Shijin was extremely excited and shared his joy with his classmates. The crowd was restless. Crouching slot, hidden professional swordsmen are so highly valued that they are directly assigned to the rocket class. Sure, Shijin. Go Shijin. Take him as the first place in the rocket class. Haha, so it seems that the rocket class is not very good either. Damn it, I truly deserve to be among the top 5 Shijin. There was a lot of discussion, including some pretty girls. Seeing this scene, Shijin couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and clenched his fists, saying, "I will work hard. I will strive to get in the top 10 in the rocket team." Puff. A spray of water sounded, and a tall and confident boy couldn't help but laugh. "You're really confident. Do you know how big the difference is between an ordinary student and a rocket class? There's nothing impossible," Shijin said in a deep voice. Ha! I am Su Wanlin, a level 27 swordsman, ranking 5th from the bottom in class 2 of grade 3. Do you have any confidence in moving from level 1 to the top 10 in class 2 within a year? Su Wanlin smiled slightly. Shijin's pupils shrank slightly and exclaimed in surprise, "Level 27. 5th from last." Chapter 6. Gap. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone present was in a state of surprise. You should know that they have just transferred to become professionals, and they don't even know how to improve their professional level, while the crane tail in the rocket squad is at level 27. Lu Ming was even more surprised in his heart. The difference between the rocket class and the regular class is so big, ranking 5th from the bottom of the 27th level. Zhang Xiaowu glanced at Lu Ming. Can he handle the old road? Will it be unbearable? What is the school doing to assign the old road to those second-generation classes? What if the old path of the blow fails to recover? Su Wanlin looked at Shijin and said, "I hope you can persist for more than a month. If you apply to withdraw from the rocket class, it will be too embarrassing. I will definitely surpass you." Shijin clenched his fists tightly. "Don't be so hostile towards me. I didn't mean to target you, what I said was true." Su Wanlin smiled and turned to leave. Several of Shijin's friends comforted and encouraged him, but Shijin clearly did not have the confidence he had before, with a forced smile on his face. Lu Ming didn't say anything. The phrase, "not targeting you," means that I am targeting you. Perhaps Su Wanlin didn't want others to show off, so he jumped out to attack Shijin. However, what Su Wanlin said is indeed true. The gap between civilian children and rocket class is really too big. Dingling bell, at this moment, the urgent bell for the end of class rang, and Lu Ming looked at the time and found that it was already 7:50. As usual, on the first day of the official start of school, the first class is the class meeting. Don't worry, just be in class before 8 o'clock. However, Lu Ming is in the rocket class and everything is unclear. We need to report quickly. Zhang Xiaowu was also aware of this, and his chubby hand tugged at Lu Ming, saying, "Hurry up and leave, old road." The two of them received the textbook and hurriedly rushed towards the teacher. The classrooms of grade 3 are all teaching grade 2, arranged in order from top to bottom. The martial arts room on the easternmost side of the 5th floor is class 1 of grade 3. When Lu Ming arrived at the entrance of class 1 in his 3rd year of high school, he saw a man wearing a black martial arts uniform with high and bulging muscles on his arms standing at the door. If he looked closely, he could see the thick calluses on his elbows and fists. Next to him was a gentle female teacher with a fiery red dragon-shaped elf on her shoulder. He is the teacher of class 1 in senior high school, and next to him is Qin Fei, the former homeroom teacher of Lu Ming. It seems that they are all waiting for themselves. Lu Ming quickly approached and greeted, "Hello teacher." "Well, Lu Ming, this is your future teacher, Teacher Wu Shangfeng." Qin Fei introduced it, and Wu Shangfeng smiled kindly at Lu Ming. Lu Ming quickly said hello. "Lu Ming, you were selected to the rocket class and can actually be considered a transfer student. You don't understand many basic things and it's difficult to keep up with the course." Qin Fei said, "I have communicated with Teacher Wu, and you don't need to attend self-study classes every night in the future. I will also give you Shi Jin's tutoring in class 2. "Okay, thank you, teacher." Lu Ming was pleasantly surprised and grateful from the bottom of his heart. At Linqing No. 1 Middle School, only rocket class has evening self-study, while the regular class does not. Qin Fei is the teacher of the regular class and can leave work and go home at 6 p.m. However, now she has taken out her personal time to give Lu Ming tutoring. How can Lu Ming not be grateful? Qin Fei smiled and the fiery red dragon on her shoulder also grinned. "This is the principal's arrangement, don't thank me. Alright, let's go back to class and adapt well to the new environment. Don't be a deserter. The principal has high expectations of you. Good teacher." Lu Ming took a deep breath. Wu Shangfeng and Lu Ming walked into the classroom of class 1 in senior high school. The originally slightly noisy classroom suddenly quieted down, and a pair of eyes looked at Lu Ming. Lu Ming also took this opportunity to glance at the whole class. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be much difference between students in ordinary classes. They are tall, short, fat, and thin. But everyone has a commanding aura. Lu Ming knew that it was the confidence of the strong, something that was rarely seen in ordinary class students. Holding a sharp weapon, killing the heart from the beginning, possessing extraordinary strength, naturally possessing confidence and confidence. In the new semester, our class has a new student named Lu Ming. Let me introduce myself. Wu Shangfeng smiled and said. "Hello everyone, my name is Lu Ming and my profession is a paladin," said Lu Ming, standing under the podium without stage fright, the Lu Ming with S.level talent. Is it an auxiliary profession? Unfortunately, there is less than a year left until the college entrance examination, and now it is only at level 1. This level talent is enough to catch up with the main army. Don't lower the admission rate of the rocket class. The students in the rocket class whispered and discussed for a while. Quiet, Lu Ming, please take the empty seat at the back, next to the class monitor. Please be careful to take care of your new classmates, class monitor. Wu Shangfeng rode. Lu Ming looked at the last row and found only one empty seat here. His desk mate was Fang Qingxue, an old classmate from class 9. Unexpectedly, she was the monitor of class 1 in grade 3. Fong Qingxue smiled slightly and nodded, as if saying hello. After Lu Ming sat down safely, Wu Shangfeng cleared his throat and said, "Today we will continue teaching the bull demon body forging technique and the Witcher's view." As he spoke, Wu Shangfeng leaped onto the podium and made a strange posture, demonstrating and saying, "First, let's review the first 74 movements of the bull demon forging technique that I gave you yesterday. Pay attention to your elbows and legs." The classmates watched attentively. Zhaozuiyuan.com Lu Ming also followed suit and realized that he couldn't understand it at all, which was a bit awkward. So Lu Ming decided to take out a high school textbook called Detailed Explanation of Source Energy, and read it on his own. After watching for about 40 minutes, it made Lu Ming even more embarrassed. Wu Shangfeng seems to have finished reviewing yesterday's movements and teaching today's movements. He has started asking the students to leave their desks and retreat to the empty space at the back of the martial arts room to practice their movements. Wow, the students all stood up and formed a formation from the open space in the middle of the martial arts room, with a distance of 5 meters between each other. Lu Ming feels like an outsider. Should I just sneak behind the team and practice pretending to be there? Or should I look at myself? I'm also a member of the class, so I should listen to the teacher. But I haven't learned anything from the front. The easternmost part of the martial arts room is the podium, with over 50 desks slightly to the west and an open space further west. The westernmost part is a large number of martial arts equipment. Lu Ming sat in the last row of the desk area and now happened to fall into the sight of all the students in the open space. He has a feeling of restlessness. Fortunately, Wu Shangfeng spoke up and said, "Lu Ming, come to the back and read a book. You can improve your basic knowledge and strive to catch up with the course as soon as possible." Good teacher. Lu Mingru was granted amnesty and quickly ran to the back of the queue with 4 or 5 textbooks. He sat down against the wall and breathed a sigh of relief before finally settling down to read. Everyone is practicing, so there shouldn't be anything else for us to do. Let's memorize for half an hour before we talk. Lu Ming looked at the team and then simply used the light focus skill for himself, staring at the textbook in his hand as if intoxicated. Chapter 7. Ridicule. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lu Ming's textbooks include 4 books. Detailed Explanation of Source Energy, Forging Method and Observation Ideas, Career Illustrated, and Skill Illustrated. Among them, the book Forging Method and Observation Ideas is something that Lu Ming cannot understand at all, and rote memorization is useless, so Lu Ming simply does not read it. Hey, shwa 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 shwa. The other students in class 1 of grade 3 moved their bodies and stepped forward, as if a bull demon had collapsed on the ground, making a loud thud. This is the 74th move of the bull demon forging technique. Lu Ming ignored them and watched Yuan Neng explain in detail. With the blessing of light's concentration, his reading speed was very fast and his thinking ability was greatly improved. So it's like this. Fighting monsters can absorb source energy. When the source energy reaches a certain level, the level will increase, similar to experience points. The key is to fight monsters to obtain source energy, not to kill them. Lu Ming furrowed his brows and a question arose in his heart. Since absorbing source energy can lead to upgrading and strengthening, what is the use of forging and observation methods? Why is forging and observation methods the main courses of high school seniors? With doubts in mind, Lu Ming continued to read. Unfortunately, the answer was not found in Detailed Explanation of Source Energy. This book mainly explains source energy, from the discovery of source energy, professional absorption of source energy upgrades, to various source energy martial arts equipment, source energy vehicles, source energy communication, and so on in reality. In short, source energy is a very versatile energy, and it is also the foundation of professionals. After reading the detailed explanation of Yuanneng, Lu Ming realized that only 25 minutes had passed. He simply focused on himself again and then took out a professional guidebook to carefully read it. This time, he mainly memorized by rote. Because career guides mainly explain the names and characteristics of various professions, just remember them. So, 2 more hours passed, and during these 2 hours, Lu Ming kept memorizing everything except for observing thoughts and exercising techniques in his mind. The content of this memory is twice as much as those books from yesterday, and Lu Ming clearly felt his progress. However, the cost was that Lu Ming felt his brain overload again, with a strong headache accompanied by a feeling of drowsiness, which he couldn't hold on to. Looking at the time, it's already 10:30. Why don't you sleep until after class? Anyway, I can't understand the exercises and observation methods myself, and I'm really tired. As he thought about it, Lu Ming lost consciousness and fell asleep against the wall. Perhaps due to excessive brain use, Lu Ming slept soundly, accompanied by a faint snoring sound. Puff. A mischievous boy heard Lu Ming snoring and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then, he and a few other friends frowned and gestured to take a look at Lu Ming's embarrassing demeanor. Look, this newcomer dares to sleep in Lao Wu's class. Several people held their smiles and said, it's okay to sleep, but you can still snore and lie in the slot, ha ha ha. Laugh. Wu Shangfeng, who was teaching his students to observe their thoughts, saw the expressions of several boys and coldly said, what's wrong? Wang Yishui, Lin Shanghao, is it very funny? A few boys quickly shut up. Laugh, keep laughing. If you smile for 1 minute, you'll waste 1 minute of yourself and 56 minutes of the whole class. Keep laughing. After Wu Shangfeng finished criticizing, he continued his teaching, but occasionally heard Lu Ming's call. Continue, where did we come from? Yes, as the basic idea of the wizard's view, we need to meditate on the wizard's outline. Ha! Sigh. Wu Shangfeng sighed in his heart. Actually, he has been paying attention to Lu Ming since class. At first, Lu Ming focused on reading and was quite pleased. However, he didn't expect to hold on until after 10 o'clock. If this state continues, Lu Ming may not be able to persist until the day when he catches up with the rocket class course. Lu Ming was awakened by Fang Qingshue's call. At 11:45, the students returned to their respective seats and looked at Lu Ming, who had just been awakened by Fang Qingxue, with countless pairs of eyes and a burst of laughter. Lu Ming remembers very clearly that when he was in the first year of junior high school, there was a naturally slow-talking fool in his class. Every time the teacher called him up to answer questions, he was always very funny, and that's how he laughed at him. Unexpectedly, in my 3rd year of high school, I became a fool in the eyes of others. Are you angry? Humiliation. For the first time, Lu Ming developed infinite motivation due to being laughed at by others. He stood up and sat back in his seat, facing the laughter. You smile again, intelligence adds 1 more. Now Lu Ming's intelligence is already 8 o'clock. The skill light focus has also been upgraded to LV2, and the gains have been quite substantial. Alright, everyone be quiet. Wu Shangfeng said, take a good rest at noon and go to the secret realm in the afternoon. As soon as these words were spoken, the students in class 1 of grade 3 cheered, even Fang Qingxue excitedly clapped her hands. Lu Ming carefully recited the secret realm rules and naturally knew why the students were so excited. There are monsters in the secret realm. Once you go to the secret realm, it's a real battle, a bloody battle. And the secret realm class only has 3 sessions per week, how can these students not be excited? However, Lu Ming felt uncomfortable. He is only 1 level. Wu Shangfeng's gaze swept over the class before finally pausing on Lu Ming and saying in a deep voice, no one is allowed to be absent, no leave is allowed, class is over. The bell for the end of class rings simultaneously. The students of class 1 in grade 3 walked out of the classroom in pairs and headed to the cafeteria for a meal. Lu Ming also went downstairs and found Zhang Xiaowu. The 2 of them went to the cafeteria together. The meals at Linqing No. 1 Middle School require a unified pairing, and the lunch for students is the same. This is also the only common feature between ordinary students and the second generation of rocket class vocational school. Because this lunch is very special, there are many high-end meats filled with energy, which are part of the official support funds in the National Professional Program. Old Road, rocket classes usually don't live on campus, do they? They all have lunch breaks in the class. In the cafeteria, Zhang Xiaowu stuffed meat into his mouth and asked vaguely. Well, yes, they all have lunch breaks in class. Lu Ming nodded. The students in the rocket class are all second-generation vocational students who live in the inner city, so even if they have evening self-study, they do not live on campus and can only rest in the class during their lunch break. However, the martial arts room is large enough to rest. Will you go back to the dormitory for lunch break or back to class later? Zhang Xiaowu asked. He and Lu Ming shared the same dormitory. Definitely go back to the dormitory. Find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, Lu Ming responded without hesitation. Xiaopeng smiled happily and said, Okay, Old Road, I was worried that if you go to the rocket class, you won't want me anymore. Get lost, disgusting. Ha ha ha. How's the rocket class on the Old Road? Aren't they all difficult to get along with? Xiaopeng asked with some concern. They are all people, there's nothing difficult to get along with. Lu Ming shook his head and didn't mention the tragic experience of the morning, burying his head in eating. During this time, the two of them also saw Shi Jin from the cafeteria. The boy's face was dark and he looked as if he had been hit. It seemed that the morning had been even worse than Lu Ming's. After dinner, Lu Ming returned to the dormitory and took a nap. He woke up at 1:40 p.m. and went to Class 2, Grade 3, Class 1. By the time he arrived, it was already 1:50 p.m. All the students have already woken up, tidied up their beds, and sat in their seats to play. Many people hold tubes similar to test tubes in their hands, which are filled with red liquid. They drink while laughing and discussing with their good friends. Fang Qingxue, the desk mate of Lu Ming, was also holding a red tube while drinking and reading. When she saw Lu Ming coming over, she raised her eyes slightly and took out a red test tube from the table hole to hand to Lu Ming, as if sharing a box of jelly with her desk mate was natural. But Lu Ming did not accept it. He knows what this is. The primary life potion contains impressive source energy, with a focus on enhancing physical attributes. It is suitable for those who have transitioned to a profession before reaching level 100 to take it. The value of this potion is equivalent to 30,000 Xia coins, which is his parents' 2-month salary. When Lu Xian was just hospitalized, he took 7 or 8 life potions, which depleted all the savings of the Lu family. Judging from Fang Qingxue's appearance, it seems that she has treated this thing as a snack. Chapter 8. Code of Conduct. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No need, thank you. It's too expensive. Lu Ming quickly refused. Fang Qingxue thought for a moment, but did not force her to put the primary life potion back into the table hole. Lu Ming felt that he should also drink something, so he took out a water bottle that Lu Xian had given him and took some water from the water dispenser. By the way, Fang Qingxue, what was the situation with the secret realm this afternoon? Which secret realm have you reached now? Lu Ming returned to his seat and asked. It's a level 30.40 secret realm, deep in the dark and dense forest, it should be at the normal level, Fang Qingxue replied. That's it. Lu Ming has some confidence in his heart. Fang Qingxue sincerely said, Teacher Wu asked me to take care of you, Lu Ming. Don't be too far away from me during the secret realm combat class. If you encounter danger, I can protect you. Thank you. Thank you, Lu Ming. Fang Qingxue wanted to say something more, but found that teacher Wu Shangfeng had already walked to the podium. So she swallowed her words and quickly signaled to teacher Lu Ming with her eyes. The whole class 1 of grade 3 quickly quieted down. Wu Shangfeng is very satisfied. He didn't even think about the class bell and didn't rush to speak. He stood at the classroom door, sipping a thermos while greeting passing teachers. It wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the piercing class bell rang that Wu Shangfeng walked back to the podium and said with a smile, "Class. This afternoon is a 3.5-hour practical lesson on the secret realm, and I know everyone wants to go quickly. But the knowledge points still need to be reviewed, and I don't want anyone in our class to lose points in humanities." Wu Shangfeng cleared his throat and continued, "You must remember the content of the secret realm rules. It's a free gift. Lin Shanghao, could you answer this? It's a sign of the beginning of a new era." A tall boy stood up, scratched his head, and stuck in his shell, saying, "Ah. The symbol of the beginning of the new era. Ah." At this moment, Lin Shanghao's desk mate frowned and whispered a reminder, but unfortunately Lin Shanghao couldn't hear it. "Copy the secret realm rules 100 times. Wu Shangfeng's face turned cold and he said in a cold voice, "Wang Yishui, you come and answer." Wang Yishui is a relatively chubby boy who was frantically searching through textbooks for answers to a question. When he heard that he had been called out, he quickly stood up and gave a stiff neck, saying, I forgot. You have thick skin, and you've done it 100 times. Wu Shangfeng cursed coldly and then looked at Fang Qingxue, saying in a deep voice, "Captain Qingxue, come and memorize all the key points. Everyone else will remember the key points again. I don't think you will remember any humanities key points. You will lose points in vain." "Good teacher." Fang Qingxue stood up and recited the key points directly, demonstrating her academic prowess. Key point 1. The beginning of the new century marks the arrival of the first secret realm. 100 years ago, large and small secret realms appeared in various corners of this world, and countless monsters roared towards the city, marking the official start of a new era. Key point 2. The secret realm has an extremely eerie feature. Refresh. Even if all the monsters and resources in the secret realm are cleared, after a period of time, the monsters and resources in the secret realm will still reappear without any difference. Key point 3. There are 2 types of secret realms. Controlled secret realms and uncontrolled secret realms. Key point 4. The entrance position of the secret realm is fixed and cannot be changed. Once a new entrance to the secret realm appears inside the Xia, an alarm must be immediately triggered. Key point 5. The secret realm belongs to a part of the rules of the heavenly way. Key point 6. Key point 7. Fang Qingxue carried a lot in one breath, and Lu Ming was somewhat impressed. He relied on the concentration and mental improvement brought by his skill-light focus to memorize so firmly, while Fang Qingxue did not. This clearly shows that he is a top student, no wonder he can become the monitor of the rocket class. Wu Shangfeng is even more generous in his praise. The other classmates lost interest. In the past, these guys used to sleep on humanities courses and only rushed before exams. Anyway, as they got higher in level and intelligence, they would memorize quickly. Why spend time memorizing them on a regular basis? Humanities are very important, I won't say more. Anyway, you learned it for yourself, not for me. Wu Shangfeng's face turned cold and he became very angry. He said, "Gather in the hallways and go to the secret realm hall." Entering the secret realm was originally a fee, but the government, for your own benefit, specially approved students to enter the secret realm without a fee. What happened? They didn't study any humanities subjects one by one. The classmates trembled with fear. The so-called Secret Realm building is a small building with only 3 floors, located in the central position of Linqing No. 1 Middle School, surrounded by 5 teaching buildings. The main hall is full of ancient style, and there are more than 10 security personnel at the entrance of the gate. Inside, there is an old man sitting, who looks extraordinary. Teacher Wu. Seeing Wu Shangfeng bringing students over, the security personnel greeted him repeatedly. Well, bring the students to class. After Wu Shangfeng presented his documents, the security personnel checked the student IDs of all the students in the class before releasing them, and the security factor was very high. Entering the building, the old man sitting at the door grinned, his yellow teeth a bit glaring. "Teacher Qin." Wu Shangfeng respectfully arched his hand and said, "We need to use the 25th secret realm this afternoon." "Go ahead." The old man, who was called Teacher Qin by Wu Shangfeng, rummaged through the drawer and threw out a golden key marked with 20.5. "It's just been refreshed for a while, don't lose the key," he said, "don't worry." Wu Shangfeng took the key, greeted his classmates behind him, and led them towards the interior of the building. As he delved deeper into the secret palace, Lu Ming discovered that this building was not made of ordinary materials, but rather some extremely high-end material. As for the door of the secret realm room, zhaozhuyuan.com is even more resilient. Lu Ming estimated that without a key, even a second-time professional cannot forcibly enter the secret realm room. Entering the secret realm building this time, Lu Ming deeply felt the strict level of official supervision over the secret realm. Quickly, everyone arrived at room 25 of the secret realm. The golden key was inserted into the lock hole, and after a few gentle twists, the heavy door slowly opened. "Classmates, first open the Tiandao panel and accept the team application before entering." Wu Shangfeng stood at the doorway. Upon hearing these words, Lu Ming's thoughts moved slightly and he looked at his heavenly path panel, where a team invitation was shining brightly. "Wu Shangfeng has initiated a team invitation for you through the class group of Class 1 in senior high school. Do you accept it? Inviter information, name. Wu Shangfeng, LV 238, occupation. Advanced fighter." Lu Ming took a cold breath and didn't expect Wu Shangfeng to be a high-level fighter with 3 turns. No wonder he could handle the position of class teacher for the rocket class. "After reading my own information, it's still LV1. Lu Ming quickly accepted the team invitation, then hid the Heavenly Way panel and followed everyone into room 25. In room 25, there is another door standing there, like any door, but its frame is carved with ferocious monsters, and this door is the true entrance to the secret realm. Opening the portal, a faint blue mist formed a vortex in the air, which was very supernatural. Wu Shangfeng entered first, followed closely by students from Class 1 of senior high school. "Lu Ming, don't be too far away from me after entering." Fang Qingxue said a sentence and turned to enter the secret realm. "Okay." Lu Ming quickly caught up. Chapter 9. Secret Realm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Entering the secret realm is a unique experience. Lu Ming only felt a whirlwind, and when he opened his eyes again, another world was already around him. The sky dripped with drizzle, and in the distance, there was a pitch-black forest. Each tree was as thick as a dozen people hugging each other, and the twisted branches resembled a demon with open teeth and claws. The strange cry of a cat demon could be heard from time to time. The whole world has this eerie and terrifying tone. Fortunately, the entire class was here, and the noise overwhelmed the terrifying atmosphere. Lu Ming found that there was an additional map option in his Heavenly Way panel. With a slight movement of his mind, he could see a miniature map, which was officially the map of the 25th secret realm. 8 rooms were listed on the map and connected by an arrow. This afternoon's homework is to kill a ferocious cat demon that is no lower than level 30 alone. Wu Shangfeng said in a deep voice, "I said ugly things ahead. If I can't finish it, you won't have anything to do with the next practical lesson. Also, no one is allowed to go to the 8th room in the deepest part. If it triggers the secret realm boss, this lesson can only end early." "Yes." The classmates answered in unison, and everyone was very excited. Of course, except for Lu Ming. For him, this afternoon was a boring afternoon, wasting time because he had memorized all the textbooks, leaving only the exercises and observation methods to be learned. "Alright, disband on the spot." "Wait. I forgot something, what happened? Wu Shangfeng rubbed his eyebrows, looking reminiscent, then widened his eyes and said, by the way, Lu Ming stays, you don't have to go. Ha ha ha. This special attention and Wu Shangfeng's comical expression made the students in class 1 of grade 3 burst into laughter again. Fang Qingxue also covered her mouth and smiled, making Lu Ming feel very uncomfortable. Dissolve it. Wu Shangfeng waved his hand. The classmates dispersed one after another. Wu Shangfeng stood in place, taking out a thin object similar to a tablet in his hand. With a few finger clicks, the tablet turned into a huge screen and stood steadily on the ground. Inside the screen is a surveillance-like image, divided into 8 areas. This is the secret realm controlled by Xia, with a large number of hidden energy monitoring installed in each area inside. Every move of the monster is under control, and the entire secret realm has become a venue for training students. Even the difficulty level of the secret realm can be adjusted through the Heavenly Dao panel. Lu Ming, come over and help the teacher monitor the Yuanning monitoring point. Wu Shangfeng waved his hand and said, there are 8 small secret realms or rooms in the 25th secret realm. Please help me keep an eye on the 8th room. If anyone enters the 8th room, please let me know immediately. Good teacher. Lu Ming nodded, he had nothing to do anyway. But asking him to help will be rewarded. Well, please trouble you, the teacher still has to keep an eye on these wild boys to avoid causing any harm, said Wu Shangfeng. Lu Ming shook his head and said, it's not troublesome. If the teacher has any further instructions, just give them. Wu Shangfeng felt a bit embarrassed when he saw Lu Ming being so hardworking and said politely, if you have any difficulties in learning in the future, you can ask the teacher. The teacher will never hide anything. Teacher, I really have a problem. Wu Shangfeng's mouth twitched slightly. This kid is really not polite to himself. Why does he say such a thing so much? Anyone who has taught stupid students knows how painful and unbearable it can be. In the eyes of Wu Shangfeng, who has been teaching the rocket class, Lu Ming is the stupid student on the path of professionalism, still the kind of stupid student who can read and fall asleep while snoring in class. But the words were all released, and I didn't hesitate to answer. You can ask, Wu Shangfeng said. Let's talk about it first. There are many questions that can be answered as long as you focus on reading carefully. I won't answer you for these types of questions. Good teacher. Lu Ming sorted out his language and looked at room 8 of the source energy monitor in front of him. He asked, Master Wu, professionals can obtain source energy upgrades by fighting monsters, and the secret realm is constantly refreshed. So why limit the number of times students can enter the secret realm? Fighting more monsters can not only cultivate combat experience but also improve levels. Upon hearing this, Wu Shangfeng frowned slightly and said displeased, there is an answer to this question in the textbook. Lu Ming, go back and take a closer look. Teacher, there isn't. Lu Ming answered. Wu Shangfeng felt a bit uncomfortable now, knitting his eyebrows and saying in a deep voice, the second module on page 18 of the Forging Body Method and Observation Ideas is the answer to this question. Lu Ming, calm down and make good use of it. You will always catch up, don't be impatient. Lu Ming replied, Teacher, there is no answer to this question in Forging Body Method and Observation Ideas. The second module on page 18 introduces the 30-second formula of the Bull Demon Forging Body Method, and the original text is. What? Wu Shangfeng widened his eyes, feeling a bit foolish. He just had an impression, but he didn't expect this kid to remember so much detail and memorize everything. Isn't he sleeping soundly there in the morning? When did you memorize it? Is it just a coincidence? Or is it that Lu Ming finished memorizing everything before going to bed? In this case, Lu Ming can only rely on the Paladin's skill light focus, but is there such a significant increase in the initial focus of light? Isn't it a batch of people who give nicknames for noise shielding and pulling the crotch? Wu Shangfeng rubbed his chin for a moment, thought for a moment, and said, "The teacher memorized university textbooks. I made a mistake, I'm sorry." After clearing his throat, Wu Shangfeng stared at the surveillance footage and explained to Lu Ming, "Fighting monsters, accumulating enough source energy to level up. Each level up earns 4 free attribute points gifted by the Heavenly Tao panel. It may seem like it's getting stronger quickly, right? But the premise of this rule is that the monster's level cannot be too lower than yours. You cannot obtain source energy by abusing low-level monsters. If you simply level up like this, the early upgrade is fast, but when you enter the secret realm in the second round, you will be surprised to find that you can't even defeat monsters in the secret realm. Even if you rely on your money ability to hard fight to level 200, you will definitely not be able to complete the job transfer task in the third round. By then, it will be too late to make up for it, and the professional journey will completely come to a standstill. The principles followed by the forging method and observation method are limit, recovery, and enhancement. They can also enhance 4-dimensional attributes. In theory, as long as you can continuously obtain more excellent dual methods, your strength can be infinitely improved. This question is very simple. Excluding equipment factors, professionals of the same level will definitely have higher attributes and stronger strength when practicing dual techniques. Lu Ming pondered for a moment and said, "I understand, teacher. The physical training method and observation ideas determine the upper limit of strength, while the level determines the lower limit of strength. Both need to be balanced and developed together." The summary is very accurate. Wu Shangfeng nodded and suddenly changed the topic, asking, "By the way, have you memorized all the textbooks?" "Yes." Lu Ming didn't hide. Wu Shangfeng showed such a surprised expression and said, "How did you do it?" "By focusing on light." Lu Ming looked innocent. "Grass." Wu Shangfeng suddenly understood and was stunned, saying, "A level 1 professional can be on the brink of extreme snoring with just a single focus of light. With such a great talent at level S, do you know what this skill is called in our circle? It's called noise blocking, and it's useless in the early stages. At most, it can help you fall asleep peacefully under the snoring of others. Upgrading the skill level to LV30 only has a slight effect, and as a result, you were able to reach the limit of your body directly. I guess your S-level talent should be an increase in divine light skills, otherwise it wouldn't be so powerful." "Yes." Lu Ming nodded, admitting it. "However, it is not an S-level increase, but an even more terrifying SSS level increase. Zhaoshuyuan.com exaggerated, it's too exaggerated. I can see why the principal assigned you to the rocket class." Wu Shangfeng took a deep breath and asked, "What level are you at now?" "Skill level. Is light focused?" "Level 2, Lu Ming replied. "Okay, after you reach level 5, give the teacher a try." Lu Ming was panicked and lost. Cough cough, I used to say that when I was in a team, I made a slip of the tongue. I'll give the teacher a buff to experience it later. I'll definitely remember. Wu Shangfeng smiled and said. He is someone who has been to a big city and knows that the skill of focusing on light can be very powerful if the level is raised. It has a great promoting effect on learning body forging techniques and observing thoughts. In those top-tier high schools in big cities, teachers must have a very high-level paladin who doesn't do anything every day, clocking in at work, and giving students LV 100 plus light focus. After completing the classes, the paladin quickly leaves work, and the students study hard for several days. With such a shining focus, it is worth hundreds of thousands of summer coins. This kind of resource is not available to ordinary cities, and even 99% of cities except for Desia Mo-du, Desia Shendu, Desia Kyoto, Shuangjiang Longcheng, and several coastal cities cannot enjoy it. But Lu Ming can enjoy it, and even has already enjoyed it several times. This makes Wu Shangfeng very envious. In his eyes, Lu Ming was like a walking treasure, emitting a tempting aura. After Lu Ming's skill LV5, make sure to let Lu Ming give him a shot. Wu Shangfeng speculates that this kid's light focus is likely to have a significant impact on his level. Chapter 10. Reprimand. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Remember to come to me first when you reach LV5. I'll be your experimental subject. That's how teachers understand sacrifice. Wu Shangfeng shamelessly said. Good teacher. Lu Ming naturally won't refuse, it's just an additional skill. Okay, wait for your good news. Wu Shangfeng chuckled. Afterwards, Lu Ming and Wu Shangfeng remained focused on watching the surveillance footage, afraid of any problems. During this period, Wu Shangfeng kept chattering. Wang Yishui, this bastard, what kind of nonsense did he learn? It's so difficult to deal with a level 30 cat demon. Fang Qingxue is not bad. She is serious and willing to put in effort. In fact, as long as she has this serious attitude, sooner or later things can be achieved. Lin Mengmeng is a bit too timid, but she is an auxiliary professional star guardian, so it doesn't matter. Lin Shanghao has good strength, but his temperament is too impetuous. Zhou Xiaoyong, this useless person. What is Lu Wenlai pretending to be? He always knows how to play, but when it comes to practical combat, he reveals his true feelings. He's not as strong as the last time he taught in the Secret Realm class. This is really the first time I've seen him regress. He taught me for nothing. The two of them leaned in front of the surveillance camera, while Wu Shangfeng commented on the students. Lu Ming nodded occasionally, and those who didn't know thought Lu Ming was also a teacher. Little did they know that Lu Ming was now in a state of fear. Through surveillance videos, he can clearly see how terrifying the monsters are. The monsters in this secret realm are all cat monsters, which may sound fragile and small, but in reality, each cat monster is the size of a calf, with crimson eyes and eerie black hair all over its head. Below it is a ferocious face, with a very terrifying appearance. It hid on the dark treetops and attacked very quickly. If you are not mentally prepared, you will definitely be scared. To kill a single one must have extremely strong strength. Lu Ming couldn't imagine what kind of strength was needed to achieve a single sweep of the 25th secret realm. At present, the top 10 players in our class can achieve the ability to single brush the ordinary level 25th secret realm without equipment. Wu Shangfeng seemed to see Lu Ming's thoughts and smiled, saying, before the college entrance examination, if you can achieve the level 25 Nightmare Secret Realm without equipment, you can almost get into A/B level professional university. Lu Ming, I believe you can achieve even higher. I also believe it. Lu Ming firmly said. Stinky kid, you're so impolite. Wu Shangfeng harbored resentment in his heart, but this kid really has a chance to do it. His S.level talent is too powerful. Wu Shangfeng patted Lu Ming's shoulder and said, come on, Xiao Lu. As the saying goes, just find the teacher if you have any questions. Teacher, I really have a question. Lu Ming couldn't wait. Nima. Wu Shangfeng said weakly, you ask. Lu Ming said, teacher, how did the forging method and observation ideas come about? Wu Shangfeng replied, Most of the double methods are produced from secret realms, and there are also masters who create them themselves. Lu Ming said, ouch, do we have to practice the bull demon body forging technique and the Witcher's view? Wu Shangfeng explained, professionals have 9 to 1000 levels, and the classification of dual methods is based on the number of job transfers. The forging method has different classifications, some focus on strength, some on physique, some on speed, and some on balance development. As for viewing ideas, although they tend to enhance intelligence, there are differences in attributes, such as light attributes, fire attributes, water attributes, and even non-attributes. It is necessary to choose the one that suits oneself, such as if you are suitable for viewing ideas with light attributes. The bull demon body forging method and the Witcher's view method are the most suitable dual methods for level 1.100. Although the bull demon body forging method focuses on physical fitness and strength, speed is not a weakness, while the Witcher's view method belongs to the attribute-free view and is considered the strongest among the most universal at this point. Wu Shangfeng smiled and said, "Of course, the most important thing is for free. These two are subsidies in the National Professional Plan. There are also stronger dual methods that you need to buy on the hyperspace exchange. However, the principles of all dual methods are limit, restore, and improve." "I understand, teacher. Thank you." Lu Ming nodded. At this point, Lu Ming has completely understood how to become stronger, and the rest is to constantly strive for it. Lu Ming continued to watch the surveillance video and stared at room 8. In no time, he noticed that the boy named Lin Shanghao, Wang Yishui, and 2 other unfamiliar boys had carefully gone to room 8, hiding in the blind corner of the surveillance footage. They thought they were hiding well, but it's better not to let Lu Ming discover. "Teacher Wu, some students have entered room 8. Lu Ming directly told Wu Shangfeng. "Okay, I got it." Wu Shangfeng nodded. After about 2.5 hours of touching, the students of Class 1 of Grade 3 all killed the cat demon alone and returned to the location of the secret realm portal one after another. Everyone was carrying a cat demon corpse. Their clothes were all dirty, but they were in good spirits. Lu Ming looked at the calf-sized cat demon corpses and knew that there was a huge gap between him and these people, even with the weakest Lin Mengmeng. "Be quiet and ask a question." Wu Shangfeng waved his hand and all the cat demon corpses disappeared out of thin air. He didn't know where they had gone. His face was serious and he began to give special guidance one by one. "Fang Qingxue, stand out." "Yes, teacher." Fang Qingxue stood up. Wu Shangfeng sternly said, "Fang Qingxue. What are you eating? You can kill the cat demon in seconds, why did you make a mistake? Girls love beauty and cleanliness, which is natural, but sometimes it can cost you your life." The specific reason was not explained by Wu Shangfeng, but everyone knows. The cat demon is so disgusting. It pounced from the sky with its big mouth full of decay. Not to mention girls, even boys would instinctively dodge when they saw the cat demon pouncing. Wu Shangfeng is indeed too harsh. However, when Lu Ming heard Wu Shangfeng's chatter just now, he knew that Wu Shangfeng valued Qing Shui very much, which is why he was so strict. Like Lin Mengmeng, Wu Shangfeng basically gave up. Wu Shangfeng finished cursing Fang Qingxue and then shifted his focus. "Lin Shanghao, get out of here. You must have skin, don't you think it's very handsome to tease the cat demon like a cat catching a mouse? This is his mother's secret place that has been controlled. You pretend that you have coded. When you arrive at the battlefield of gods and demons, in the secret places that have not been explored, you will definitely die by playing like this. When you die, your teammates will dig you out of the grave and continue to spray you." Lin Shanghao's head drooped low. "Wang Yishui, he's usually too lazy. Lu Wenlai. Swordsmen become useless without swords, right? Zhou Xiaoyong, are you singing Nima? The enemy's sword has already struck you, and you are still singing. Your agility attribute is too low. If you don't practice further, get out of my team. And you, Zhang Shiyong, why are you laughing? Are you just excellent? You have the face to laugh at others." Wu Shangfeng's firepower was fully activated, causing the whole class to curse and unable to lift their heads. After cursing until almost 5.30, Wu Shangfeng's face slightly calmed down and he said, "Teacher, it's for your own good. In the future, you will not only face monsters in the secret realm, but also the swords and shadows of other countries. If you can't grow into qualified professionals, then the teacher would rather you be ordinary people. At least that way, you can live. Alright, let's all go back to the classroom. After class at 5.30, we'll have dinner. We'll start late self-study at 6.30, and it's not allowed to be late. Lin Shanghao, Wang Yishui, Zhou Xiaoyong, Li Qihang, you four stay. As soon as these words were spoken, the classmates breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly left the secret realm through the teleportation gate. Lu Ming also left, while Lin Shanghao and the four others who were named were somewhat puzzled, not knowing why Wu Shangfeng left them. Did I say that it's not allowed to enter room 8? Wu Shangfeng's face was gloomy, as if he could drip water. Lin Shanghao trembled and quickly defended himself. No, teacher, we didn't go to room 8. Didn't you go? Wu Shangfeng raised his voice and said, am I blind? Am Lu Ming blind? Is the surveillance broken? How dare you lie? This time, I didn't report it to the principal, but I practiced the bull demon forging technique for me, from the first to the 70.2, 100 times. If there's another time, I'll drop out of school and be expelled. The four of them had pale faces. They were just curious to enter room 8 and wanted to see a secret realm boss they had never seen before. They went to the book garden www.zhaoshuyuan.com and didn't expect the consequences to be so serious that they would be fired again. And, how could there be that new student thing? Yes, when they came back, they found Lu Ming in front of the surveillance cameras. It must have been him who made a small report. From now on, the movements must be standardized. Wu Shangfeng said sternly. For people complain incessantly, from the first to the 70-second movements, playing 100 times it would be fatal, but after seeing Wu Shangfeng's cold body, they felt that Wu Shangfeng was even more deadly and quickly started fighting honestly. Lu Ming is very excited because he can skip evening self-study. That's his small stove time, it's his first step towards becoming stronger. After class, Lu Ming and Xiao Pang finished their meal and parted ways with Xiao Pang, then excitedly rushed to a vacant classroom on the 3rd floor. The students in the classroom have already left, and only teacher Qin Fei is sitting on the podium chair waiting for Lu Ming. Her hands are propped up on the desk, with a pair of beautifully lined black silk long legs overlapping, and a pair of golden eyes on the bridge of her nose, showcasing her elegant demeanor. Not long after Lu Ming came in, Shi Jin also arrived, but Shi Jin seemed to be feeling very heavy. Everyone is here. Qin Fei smiled slightly, propped up the table, and said, since it's a remedial class, the teacher wants you to catch up with the learning progress of the main army as quickly as possible. Therefore, today's class is the first 10 moves of the bull demon forging technique, the first picture of the witch's view, and the practical combat of the first secret realm. Other related knowledge about the Heavenly Way panel and humanities is now QA, without special explanation. Do you understand? I understand. Lu Ming's eyes were burning, his fists clenched tightly. He is finally starting to become stronger.